Our main character, Shinji, groans as his television watching time is interrupted by a message on the computer. He gets up, ignoring the massive mess in his Japanese apartment, and shambles over to the desktop. A friend named Junko that he hasn't spoken to in a very long time mentions someone named Hideo from a recovery center. Junko is quite a bit worried about him. Hideo had reached out to Junko and claimed someone was trying to get into his apartment. Junko requests a video call, but Shinji brushes her off and just stops responding. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that Shinji probably doesn't have any friends. Moments later, a knock at the door rattles through the apartment. Shinji peeks through the peephole to see the pizza delivery person. I marked it to be left at the door, Shinji snaps. The delivery person apologizes, leaves it, and departs. Shinji sits down in front of his TV with the pizza and sighs to himself as he hears his phone ring. The phone call is rather short and consists of his mother berating him asking for money, and then the parents cutting him off financially. He angrily ends the call. Later that night, a knock echoes through Shinji's apartment again. As Shinji answers through the peephole, a man in a suit and a mask, claiming to be from the television network, has come to collect the licensing fees. Shinji lies and says he doesn't even have a television as he glances at it from his peripheral. The businessman threatens fines and legal action if he does not pay immediately. As Shinji stands in his living room, Junko sends another message about checking the news. Shinji sighs exaggeratively. He does as he's told, and the news shows Hideo on the screen. Hideo has been found by his neighbor, headless, and blood everywhere. The news claims some type of large animal must have gotten into his building. The computer rings. Shinji, finally taking things seriously, answers immediately. Junko says that Hideo claims something is coming for everyone like him and that he must not look into its eyes. The call quality degrades and eventually disconnects before Shinji can learn more information. But what is this like us that Junko referred to? Another knock on Shinji's door. Why the hell do people keep coming here? He mumbles to himself. The pizza delivery person from before stands on the other side of the door. I didn't order more pizza, he says flatly. The lady apologizes and looks up to the peephole with a strange and disturbing smile. She slowly backs away, not taking her gaze off the door. Shinji shudders at the unnerving look of it all. Before Shinji can breathe, his mother calls him again. This conversation is mostly the same as before, a bit of berating his lifestyle, sprinkled with, why can't you be like your brother? The call ends exactly like previously, with Shinji angrily ending it. As Shinji stops to breathe for a moment, he hears a giggle outside his door. What the hell? He thinks to himself. He looks through the peephole only to see the pizza lady again, the lights of the hallway having shut off. She continues the same creepy smile from before. You made Mom angry? She says as she eerily leans closer to the door. I bet you don't even have a girlfriend. Let me in. Or are you afraid of women? She stammers out. Just then, the lights of the hallway flicker and show strange dark red stains along the walls and doors. Thick cables of fleshy material run in a strange network of randomness along. Shinji stumbles back from the door, frightened to his core, as the lady continues laughing at him from the hall. As he returns to the center of his apartment, the radio wakes itself up. It dials to a strange station that he has never used. The broadcaster talks about the Hikikomori, people who detach from the world socially and live only in the confines of their space and fill their entire existence with screens of computers and video game. The broadcast continues to talk about their voluntary solitude. Before Shinji can shut it off, the broadcast ends. Could the Hikikomori be the us that Junko mentioned before? Are Shinji, Junko, and Hideo all Hikikomori? And did they attend some type of recovery center for this? Perhaps Shinji is still struggling as a Hikikomori and still just needs more help to find his way. Shinji holds his hand to the bridge of his nose. This day is surely awful. He resigns to a bubble bath for relaxation and to hopefully obtain some centering, peace, and quiet. Shinji relaxes in the tub, the water transforming his skin into a pruny mess. He hears something odd to his left. As he looks over, he sees a bulge in the wall. The bulge moves slightly and cracks across the middle horizontally, slowly opening to reveal an eye? "What the hell is that?" Shinji says aloud as it blinks and looks at him. He climbs out of the bath, water dripping all over the floor. After getting dressed, he goes to see if the network outage from before is resolved to see if he can reach Junko. She seemed to know a lot more about what's going on than he can figure out. As soon as he mentions an eye, Junko gasps. Hideo mentioned this. He saw eyes as well. He said you have to get rid of the eyes, she says between panic breaths. Junko instructs Shinji to use anything to crush or cut the eyes so that they stop working. Shinji pries for more information, but before he can get it, the power cuts, the computer whirring down in a protestant whine. Shinji uses his phone for a flashlight and grabs a large knife from his kitchen. He walks up to the eye in the bathroom and stabs it directly. It deflates like a balloon as blood seeps from the wound. Shinji shudders at the grotesqueness of it all. He peeks outside his peephole and sees a large amount of flesh covered in eyeballs of its own. Shinji takes a deep breath. Okay, I just need to get rid of all the eyes. He listens carefully as he can hear strange squishy sounds of the eyeballs, cutting them one at a time. After being confident that he got all the eyes, he peeks outside. The monster from before is gone. How do I get out of here? He whispers to himself. Shinji looks outside and considers. I could walk along the edge and climb over to my neighbor's balcony and get help, he resolves. He carefully walks the ledge, only to not find a balcony for the neighbor. Odd, but he continues to go on and goes to the next one over. Shinji opens the balcony door, only to find he is back at his own apartment. This is not real, he shudders out. Shinji hears yelling at his door. Against his better judgment, since nothing good happens every time he looks outside, he peeks through the hole. The debt collector from before pounds on the door violently, his head shaking fiercely. He rambles and raves about television fees and responsibilities. His eyes look completely washed out. Before he leaves, he threatens to tear off Shinji's head and eat it. The power returns briefly but goes out continuously. During one of the spurts, Shinji manages to learn from Junko that he must not look at it, and destroying the eyes is the only way to survive. It takes a bit, but Shinji musters his nerves and steps out into the hallway. He brandishes his knife and walks through the hallway, hitting the eyes one at a time. It's not long, however, before the very monster he saw before appears in front of him. Remembering Junko's warning, he brings his hand up to his eyes, blocking his view. His heartbeat threatens to burst from his chest. Shinji lets out a long sigh of relief as he hears the monster depart somewhere else, leaving him entirely unharmed. Shinji continues this pattern, stabbing eyes, shielding his own eyes, stabbing some more eyes. As he roams the flesh-covered hallways, he spots two headless bodies, wearing familiar clothing as those who were haunting him from before. He tries to breathe normally as bile threatens to coat his mouth. After getting all of the eyeballs, Shinji finds the elevator and takes it to the ground floor, only for the doors to open into his apartment. No, 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 he says as tears well up in his eyes. Shinji gets no moment of rest as his TV flickers alive, the debt collector yelling at him from the screen. His vision flickers, the world changing around him, almost as if he is inside a video game. He stumbles out of his apartment into a strange world, the ground littered with garbage and large televisions everywhere around him. A strange creature also follows him around, donned by many hands and burdens. As he wanders to various areas, he sees televisions advertising milestones of life, such as college, marriage, investment, and fortune building. Shinji unplugs the televisions one at a time, weakening the monster that follows him, its burdens becoming less and less, making it less terrifying. A metaphor for the burdens and expectations of society weighing heavily on one. As Shinji unplugs the final television, he sees the monster trailing him fade away into himself, without the expectations of everyone else and free to be his own self. Shinji feels a strange sense of peace even though his current predicament is not great. He wanders back the way he came and finds himself back home, his vision returning to normal. A call from Junko awaits him. He answers, as Junko said she tried to get all of the eyes and it still didn't work. The call cuts as she screams from a distance. Shinji looks at his door. They were wrong. There's only one way out, he says stoically. He steps into the hallway. the monster appearing before him. Instead of being scared or trying to look away, he looks at the monster directly. He yells defiantly at the monster, his nerves made of steel now, facing his fears. The monster shrieks and groans until it melts into the floor. Shinji walks slowly to the elevator, its descent taking him to the correct floor this time. As he walks down the hallway toward the exit, the halls slowly cleanse themselves of blood and flesh and return to normal and warmth. Having broken free from the burdens of others' expectations and facing his fears head on, he steps outside for the first moment in a very long time, the breeze of the outdoors like silk on his skin as the sun wraps him in a metaphorical blanket of peace.